Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Happy Hump Day. We are on episode 56. Before I get into what the topic is, let me just go ahead and say that this episode is not kid friendly. I repeat, this episode is not kid friendly. So pause it, put your headphones in, save it for later, do whatever you need to do. But again, this episode is not kid friendly. So now that is out the way, we are going to be discussing a scenario that my sister asked me that involves pregnancy. So grab a glass of your favorite drink and let's get on into it. So before I jump into the episode, mental health, all of that, whatever platform that you are listening to this podcast on, go ahead and hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, like, comments, share it. Go ahead and do that before we get into this episode. Make those followers go up, those streams, put your friends on, your family on, all of that. So before I get into the episode, let me just do a mental health check real quick. I would say mentally, I am at I'm going to say 8.5, 9, like nothing's going on. I'm doing really well, honestly. I'm in a good mental space. Everything is going really well. I know I'm not even going to say a week, but I guess I took a week off on the podcast. I just needed like some time to myself. What went on last week? I was tired. Like, I was going to sleep later than usual, and I'm used to getting my 7.5, 8 hours of sleep, and that was not happening last week. I don't know what was going on, but I wasn't getting my normal rest, so I was very, very tired. So it was just a long week overall. I know that you guys were probably like, where's the episode? I apologize. But I thank you guys for still rocking with me, continuing to listen to the episodes, all of that. And then I was kind of like, well, technically I gave them an episode on Wednesday. And then since it was my 1-year podversary, I gave them an extra episode on Friday. So they'll be all right. But if y'all missed me, I apologize. I'm back. Hello. But yeah. And this week has been going great so far. I only have a 3-day week. Technically, today is my last work day for the week. So I'm excited about that. Happy 4th of July. Since y'all will not have an episode when the 4th gets here. But yeah, happy 4th of July. Y'all be safe. Like, please be safe. Please take care of yourselves. And if you are pow-powing, I don't really agree with the whole doing that in the air type thing because they do come down. So I don't know. For one, I want to know, like, who started that and why do y'all do that? Like, what is the reason for that? But yeah, those do come down. Like, they don't keep going in the air. Like, they come down. So I'm not really a fan of that. Like, fireworks, cool, but the pow-powing, I'm not with it. Like I said, I want to know, like, who started that? Why is that a thing? But yeah, so one thing that has happened this week, Sunday, my AC went out. Mind you, it was hot as hell, like hot. So it was very, very hard for me to sleep Sunday nights. I was like burning up, and I thought, like, look, the girl is about to sleep in because I can't go to work like that. So I was very, very tired Monday at work. Very tired. But I made it through. Everything is good now. So we back up into regular schedule programming, but I am trying to find a new platform for my podcast, like to record and all of that. I do record on Spotify, but they like switching. I think they're partnering with somebody, so that's changing. So I'm trying to see where to record it. Like, if you do podcasts or you know any platforms to record on, please hit me up. Like, I would like to continue doing this podcast thing. I don't want to take a break and try to figure out where to record, figure out all that, how to work the new platform, all of that. So if you do know any platforms, please hit me up on my social media, which is in the description box, or email me. Of course, I'm looking myself. So yeah, because I would like to continue to be consistent with my podcast. So yeah, but I hope that you guys are doing very well mentally. I hope that you are taking care of yourself. Yeah, taking care of yourself. I don't know what I just said. Taking care of yourself. Like I said, write it down. Write down how you want to feel, how you plan to get there, how you plan to stay there, all of that. Vent to somebody or write it down in a notebook, whatever you need to do. If you don't feel comfortable venting to somebody, which I get it, I understand. People will throw things back up in your face, so I completely get it. Talk to the Lord if you need to. Like, do whatever you need to do. If you want to hit me up and talk to me, my email is below. Social medias are below. Just say that you are a listener. And yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah. Inbox is always open. So yes, just make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and let's get on into the episode. So my sister asked me a question and told me that I should discuss it on my podcast. So that's what we are going to do. So her question was, and I think she heard this somewhere, but the question was, if a woman tells a man that she cannot get pregnant, but then she ends up pregnant, do I feel like he is responsible for that child? So I just, in a situation like that, I think about I like to put myself in that situation, but then I'm sitting here like, I would never tell a dude that I can't get pregnant just so I can have a baby with him or something like that. Not saying that that was the case, but I kind of feel like if a woman tells you that she cannot get pregnant, you need to see paperwork, like documents that show that she went to the doctor, this is what the doctor said, all of that. Like, that's what you need to see. But even with that, you still need to be cautious. Like, if you know that you don't want a woman, if you know that you don't want a baby with this woman, I don't know why you would be nutting at her anyway. Like, I really don't understand that. And I know that people are into the whole cream pie type thing. And I don't know the percentages or whatever, but if you are on birth control or something, I still think it's a slim chance that you can get pregnant or whatever. So I don't feel like the cream pie experience is really worth the baby. Like, that's how I feel, but to each their own. But in this situation, I would say that, because I'm like 50-50 on it, honestly, and I know some people are going to be shocked when they hear this, but I'm 50-50, and I say that because at the end of the day, if the woman could really get pregnant, but she lied and said that she could not get pregnant just to trap you, because that's what it is. She trapped you. And I feel like, I guess I should say, I feel like, I don't know, like, it will be no way for him to prove, like, oh, she told me that she couldn't get pregnant, because at the end of the day, I don't think a judge cares what she told you. Like, I don't think a judge cares about that, to be completely honest. But I kind of also feel like something needs to happen with that also when it comes to her, on her end, because you lied. You played him. Like, you literally trapped this man. But I don't see it really working out in his favor. You know, if he went to court and he was just like, Well, she told me that she couldn't get pregnant. I mean, even if they had a conversation, he recorded her. Like, but you told me that you couldn't get pregnant. And she might say, well, I was just saying that because I wanted a baby. The judge probably still wouldn't give a damn. And I hate that for men. I really do. I really hate that for y'all. Back to the whole child support thing. Like, I feel like if you take your receipts, to the court or whatever, or to the judge, and shows that you take care of your child and you doing everything that you need to do, I feel like a woman shouldn't be able to put you on child support. But again, I feel sorry for the men. Like, I just feel like in certain situations, it's no winning for y'all. So I really feel for y'all. I feel for the women as well in certain situations. But in this situation, I would honestly say, I'm still 50-50 because I feel like I don't want to say that he's not responsible, because it was your responsibility to make sure that you continue to wrap your dick up. Like, even if a woman tells you that she cannot get pregnant, don't sit here and bust all in her. Like, come on now. And even when you see the paperwork, you don't know. It might be a slim chance that this woman can still get pregnant. So I feel like you need to be very cautious about what you're doing. Like, don't just nut in her for the hell of it. And don't just let him nut in you for the hell of it. But in the case where you knew that you could get pregnant and you sat here and told this man that you could not, just so you could have his baby, get a little come up or whatever, I'm not with that. I don't like women who do that. And basketball players, rappers, and all of these celebrities to have this money, I don't know why y'all keep getting, I don't understand how y'all keep letting these women trap y'all. Like, I really don't get it. I really don't. And then I can't say trap because you nutted in her. So hopefully that's not the case with y'all. Like a girl telling y'all that she can't get pregnant. Next thing you know, she's telling you that she's pregnant. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. At the end of the day, some women are out here looking for a come up when they fucking with these celebrities and all of that. They are looking for a come up, honey. They next paycheck. That's what they're looking for. That's why people keep having babies with all these celebrities and got about 3-4 baby daddies. And every baby daddy is a celebrity. Like, no, I don't know what be going on out here. But I can't give a straight answer, honestly. I cannot, because I feel like he is responsible because he laid there, he nutted in her or whatever. But then again, who's to say that he actually nutted in her? Because he could have nutted in the condom. But then because these women are crazy, honey. Don't leave your sperm laying around in a woman's house. Shit, you can't even leave it laying around at yours if she's staying the night over there. Or even if she not staying the night, she going home. Because women will probably go get that condom out of the trash and get the sperm and do what they do. Like, no, nobody is to be trusted, honestly. That's how I feel. Like, nobody is to be trusted. And somebody told me, I don't know which celebrity it was, but someone told me that a girl tried to do that with one of the celebrities. I don't know who, but I guess they had sex. He had a condom on. He nutted in the condom, but he put like hot sauce in the condom, and she went and got the condom and tried to like put the nut in her, and it was burning her vagina. And then she tried to sue him, but of course it got dismissed because, baby girl, you out here stealing sperm, and you have the nerve to sit here and try to sue somebody. Like, I don't understand this world. I just think it's crazy. Like, men, be careful. Now, let's just say, like, the lady said that she couldn't get pregnant or whatever, and then she ended up pregnant, and the dude is like, he doesn't want the baby or whatever. Like, it's no doubt that it's his. Like, he's not doubting that. He's just like, he doesn't want the baby. Like, he wants nothing to do with the baby. He doesn't want kids right now, and all this, that, and the third. I feel like I'm still like 50-50, because I just feel like, if you, of course, you know for a fact that it's your child and you're not doubting it or whatever, and not saying that if you doubt it, it's any different, but I kind of feel like it's just a tough situation, because the lady lied. Like, or, I mean, there might be a slim chance that even if she was told that she couldn't get pregnant, that she can still get pregnant. So I kind of feel like y'all should have been taking the precautions to make sure that that does not happen. So I would say that I still feel like he's responsible, but I don't know, because I can't even say to a certain extent, because it's like, this is a child, like 18 years, and I kind of hate when people be like, oh, you got 18 years, because it's way beyond that. Like, just because your child is 18 doesn't mean that you have to stop raising them. You have to stop being a parent. So it's beyond that. To me, it's to their grave or to your grave. That's how I feel personally. So when parents be like, oh, I got 18 years, baby, you have more than that. You have until they go down on 6 feet under. I was about to say 9 feet under, but 6 feet, 6 feet under, like, that's when parenting ends. When you go under, or when they go under. Other than that, like, you still have to be a parent beyond 18. Like, I don't know why that's the thing. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know why people say that. Because that goes back to my episode about putting your kids out at 18. Stop that. But, yeah, if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen. I don't know which number it is, but, yeah. You should be able to tell by the title. So yeah, final answer, I would say that I can't even say you both are responsible, because, yeah, I can't say that, because of course the mom is responsible. Like, the child is 9 times out of 10 going to be with the mom anyway. Like, if we're being real. And if y'all not in a relationship, that is such a sticky situation. Like, that's already a headache in my mind. Like, just picturing it. Like, me telling somebody that I can't get pregnant. Now, if it's the truth, and you show them, like, paperwork, and then you end up pregnant, and that's why I feel like you guys talk about stuff. You talk about it, like, so what we doing if I get pregnant? Like, since we're having unprotected sex, what are we going to do if I get pregnant? And then you can't, like, as a dude, you cannot be sitting there like, oh, you're not going to get pregnant. And, sir, you don't know that. And if the roles were reversed, like, let's just say the dude, like, wanted to use the condom or whatever, and you know, y'all both like unprotected sex. Unprotected sex feels amazing. We all know. But, let's just say the dude was like, okay, so what happens if you get pregnant? Like, what we doing? Like, are you keeping the baby? Are you getting rid of the baby? Like, I wouldn't want you to get rid of the baby. Like, what are we doing? And I feel like women, you cannot be dismissive. Like, you need to have that conversation. You can't sit here and be like, oh, no, I already have my paperwork. Doctors told me that I can't get pregnant. I've tried, miscarriages, whatever. I can't have kids. If there is a slim chance that you can have kids, do not be dismissive. Like, y'all really need to sit there and talk about that. Like, if you get pregnant, what is going to happen? Like, y'all are not together. What is going to happen? Will we be raising a child together? Are you getting rid of the child? Like, how do you feel? Like, you have to talk about those things. But back to the situation, if she told you that she cannot get pregnant and she was lying, again, I don't feel like there's no way to prove that she was lying. I honestly don't feel like the judge would care that she was lying. To be completely honest with you, I could be wrong. But I just don't see it. Like, men, when it comes to women and y'all in the courts and the judge, y'all not winning. Like, no. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, which is why I feel sorry for you guys. Yeah, I really do. I feel sorry for y'all, because there's no winning when it comes to these women and the judge. But in that case, if she lied, I kind of want to say that the dude is not responsible, to be honest. But then I have a heart, and I think about that child, and a child does not deserve to come up in this world without both parents being present and doing everything they need to do, especially if they live in. I'm not saying that you got to be together to do what you need to do for that child, but the child did not ask to come here. And I will always say that, always stand on that. The child did not ask to come here, so you need to show up and show out in every way possible for your kids. Do what you got to do at the end of the day, just like your parents did what they did for you. And if you grew up in a fucked up household, try to be different for your child. Like, you don't have to be with this woman. And if the woman feels like she doesn't want you around, blah, blah, blah. And when it comes to the whole child support thing, that's when I'm kind of like, I'm already looking at the woman sideways if she lied anyway. But I don't feel like you should lie to try to trap a dude and then get some money off of him. Like, I'm not with that. I'm not with it. If a man is trying to show up and be present for his child, let him do that. Like, don't just look at it as a little quick come up and you not letting this man be a father to his child. Like, I'm not with that. That's stupid, and you just causing yourself a whole bunch of stress. And I was telling my coworker, I said, some men probably don't work because they don't want to pay child support. Like, some men probably don't work or go out here and get these, I was about to say something. Go out here and get a certain type of job so that they don't have to pay that much, in all honesty. But like I said, if a man is trying to show up for his child, trying to do what he need to do, it ain't about you at the end of the day. Like, women, it's not about y'all. Like, y'all need to put all that bitterness to the side. Like, it's not about y'all. It is about that child at the end of the day. Now, men, you cannot be disrespectful to this woman. Okay? You cannot be disrespectful and feel like you can come at her sideways and all this, that, and the third. It is not about y'all. Like, for one, y'all need to get along when it comes to that child. Y'all don't have to communicate if it's not about that child, but when it comes to that child, y'all need to show up, show out, put your differences aside, fake it till you make it around that child. I've never believed in people, like, arguing around their child. Your child should not know what's going on. When they see mom and daddy, they should see happy people. They should be like, oh, I never seen my mom and my dad fight. I never seen my mom raise her voice at my dad. I never seen my dad raise his voice at my mom. Like, never seen it, never heard it, never nothing. When I saw them, they were happy. They were not together, but they were happy. Like, it's just certain things that you don't do in front of your kids. And that's where I'm at with it. Like, I don't believe in all that yelling, putting a child in the middle of the drama. Like, be adults, grow the fuck up, and do what you need to do. But, so I'm still 50-50. Like, I cannot really decide. Like, that's a tough question for me. Like, at the end of the day, he did nut in her, if that was the case. If that was the case. He did nut in her. But like I said, y'all like cream pies. Like, and I remember my first time somebody said cream pie to me, and I'm like, what is that? I'm thinking it's like a cake or something. Like, I did not know what no cream pie was. Like, I think they told me to, like, Google it or something, and I was just like, no. And the little videos that you see on the porn sites, it's like, I'm good. But, yeah, so I'm still 50-50 on it, to be completely honest. I feel like it depends. It's like, did she trap him? Like, did she lie? Did she tell the truth? And then there was a slim chance that it happened. That's why communication goes a long way. You have to communicate. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. But if she lied, then I don't feel like you're responsible. But again, it's no way to prove that she lied. Like I said, I feel like even if you have a recording of her saying that she just said that so she could get a baby off of you, I don't feel like it's going to go far. I really don't. So I asked some of you to send me voice notes telling me your opinion pretty much on the topic and the situation. So I'm going to go ahead and see what you guys think because I'm still 50-50 as you can hear. So let's get on into these voice notes.
If a woman tells a man that she can't get pregnant and then they have sex and she ends up pregnant, to me, if that man told her before they had sex that he did not want children, then he shouldn't be held responsible. Because on her part, she lied and said that she couldn't get pregnant when she knew that it was a possibility of her getting pregnant. So therefore, she should take all the blame and responsibility. Now, if he changes his mind, then that should be up to the woman if she allows him to be present in that child's life. Now, if that would happen to me being the man I am, I would still be there. I would be highly upset, highly pissed off, and don't know if I could trust that woman. But I would still be there for the child because that child didn't ask to come in this world. You know, even though she told me that she couldn't get pregnant, I knew the risk that I was taking by shooting the club up, so to speak. You know, and I feel like any guy that takes that chance and doesn't pull out or doesn't wear protection, they're taking a chance at creating a child, whether you want a child or not. So that's just how I feel.
Okay, so I like your stance on it, where you said, you know, the child didn't ask to come here, and if you were in that situation, that you would step up and be there for that child. You would be upset, but you would put your feelings to the side and be there for that child. So I like that. Now I have to question, because you said that, you know, if she lied, she knew there was a possibility that she could get pregnant. And then towards the end, you also said that he knew the risk as well. So seeing that she knew that there was a possibility of her getting pregnant, and he knew the risk, seeing that he was having unprotected sex, don't you feel like they both are responsible then? Because it's kind of like the same thing. She knew the possibilities and he knew the risk. So don't you feel like they both should be responsible? But I also did like that you said if he didn't want anything to do with the child, if he changes his mind and decides that he wants to be in the child's life, that he has to go through her. Like, it's completely up to her, which I really like that. But we all know that the 9 times out of 10, or 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, the courts will get involved with that. But I do feel like if you said that you want nothing to do with the child, why are you back? Like, why now? So I understand. Yeah, so I like that you said it will be up to her. If you have made it this far in my podcast, thank you. And I'm going to assume that you have already hit that follow button for my podcast to keep up with each and every episode. And I also am going to assume that you have already went ahead and clicked that link for the listener support to support my podcast. And we will go ahead and get back into the episode.
If a woman tell me she can't get pregnant, we need to go to the doctor and find out for sure. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody to clarify that. Cause you prop up pregnant, I'm questioning if it's my baby or not. Cause I don't know, it's And if she don't want the baby, just give it to me. I'll raise the baby. Just sign all the rights over to me. Me and the little baby will live a very happy life.
So I feel like you are doing the right thing by saying that y'all need to go to the doctor and you need proof, because proof is very important, because these women will tell you anything so that they can get a quick little buck. Like, I hate to say that, I really do, but I feel like that's how most women are, and it's just like a check or a come up or something. So I agree with you on the whole go to the doctor thing to get proof, and I really, really, really love that you said if she doesn't want the baby, like, you would take the baby. I like that. I actually love that. I really do. Now my question to you is, like the last person said, if the dad decides that he wants to be in the child's life, it's completely up to the mom. So my question to you is, what happens if the mom comes later on down the line? Let's just say the child is like 6 or a little younger, a little older, doesn't matter. And she's like, you know what, I want to be in my child's life. Like, how would you feel about that? But again, you did just say that she signed away all her rights, which is smart as well, because there would be a possibility that she could come back. So disregard my question. But yeah, you did say I don't know, I cannot talk. You did say sign away the rights, which is smart. Okay, so my question, this is another question. Let's just say that she did not want to sign away her rights. Would you still take that child, or would you be like, okay, you deal with it? Like, how would you handle that situation then?
So that is an extremely slippery slope, just given that there's a lot of variables in between that we're not completely aware of. But sure, like, there could be a history of medical issues, preventing her from getting pregnant. She could have ovarian cysts, she could just be infertile all the way around, actually. Like, there's just a lot of different things or reasons as to why she may have said that. And there are some medical miracles in certain cases like that where women do subsequently become pregnant even though they've been deemed infertile or unable to have children, which I've personally seen from people that I personally know. However, there are women out here with the plot and agenda of lying to men, saying that they're unable to have children or can't get pregnant, in an effort to trap them or whatever their hidden intentions are. However, even though as fucked up as a thing as it is, and that there are women out there that do those things, though, at the end of the day, the man also still has an obligation to protect himself. And if he's unsure, or even if he has that kind of uncertainty or thinks that, okay, maybe there's a chance this woman might be dishonest or discredited in her argument or what it is that she's saying, like, he always has the option just to wrap up. That's just the ultimate fail-safe right there if he's just not sure. So, I mean, liability falls on the sides of both parties, because at the end of the day, she has no reason out here lying to this man about something as very, very detrimental and important as that. And then, he also has the liability on his part to make sure that he, pretty much protects himself. Like, wrap up, take whatever safety precautions or whatever it is that you need to do just to ensure that you don't even have to consider running into this situation, though. So it's just all about matter to me of being an adult and using common sense and making sure that you do what it is that you're supposed to do, on your part. That's just how I see it.
Okay, so you feel like both parties are responsible, and I can see that. Now, when you said that women have no reason to be out here lying about something like that, I'm pretty sure women lie about something like that every day. I'm almost certain that they do. Mostly to celebrities, I feel like. And then I can say, like, regular people as well. I would say that they're probably out here lying as well, because some people feel like if they have a baby with a guy, that it's gonna keep him around or something like that. So I feel like women are probably out here lying about that every day. Now, should you be out here lying about it? No. Because I feel like you have to ask yourself, me lying about this is not, and let's just say I do get pregnant, this man is still not going to be here. And like, he told me that, I told him that I can't have kids, and I feel like depending on what his response is will tell you everything about how he's going to react. So if you were like, oh, let's have unprotected sex or whatever, and he was like, I don't even know what his response would be. Or he might be like, I don't want you to get pregnant or anything. And she's like, oh, I can't get pregnant. And he might be like, good, okay, I'm with it. Just as long as you can't get pregnant. That right there lets you know that this man does not want a baby, or he does not want a baby by you. So I don't feel like that you should be out here spreading your legs, knowing that you can get pregnant, but you're telling him that you cannot. And by that response right there, he does not want a baby with you. But something up there is not clicking, because you feel like if you have a baby with a man, that you will be tied to him. Like, and a lot of women think that, believe it or not, like, a lot of women think that, like, oh, I done got one up on somebody because I had a baby with him. And y'all still not together. He still don't want you. Like, you just had his baby. Like, that's it. It goes no further than that. So it's a lot of women out here that's trapping these men and lying and saying that they cannot get pregnant. It's a lot of those women. But I agree that everybody needs to take precautions, need to wrap it up, keep themselves safe. Yeah, and women have to really think, like, if I get pregnant, I might be in this shit on my own. And men have to think, if I get her pregnant, child support or more money out my pockets, I'm literally going to be raising a child. Like, y'all got to think about these things, not you, but I'm just saying.
If a woman tells a man that she cannot get pregnant and she ends up pregnant, I do believe that he is responsible for the child. And I say that because, number one, you shouldn't be playing Russian roulette like that. You should have wrapped it up in the first place. Number two, he should not have been, just so naive. They both should not have been just so naive. Because when it comes to doing stuff like that, you are playing with fire. You play with fire every time you do that, whether you can get pregnant, whether you can't, or whether you think you can get pregnant, or whether you think you can't get pregnant. But I do think that he is responsible for the child for sure. I mean, because, she thought she couldn't get pregnant. It could have been whoever she was with. They could have been in a long, term relationship or whatever. And it could have been, the guy that she was with previously. Maybe she couldn't just get pregnant by him, or maybe she was going through something at that time, or whatever the case is. So she just assumed that she can't get pregnant. Now, if she really did have a medical, like a diagnosis, on paper that says you cannot get pregnant, then that's something totally different. Depending on, how they both feel about children, they could look at that as a blessing. She was, told by medical professionals that she was unable to get pregnant. But God had blessed her, with a baby, boy or girl. So, how they want to go about that, that's up to them. But either way, he's still responsible, because they both played a part in, creating that child. And it will be very unfair. And I say this all the time, in some cases, not all cases, but the men can walk away. The women are eventually, or, they're always stuck with the child. So he is just as responsible, just as she's just as responsible. They're both responsible. But this is why we discuss, the what ifs, even though we may think it might happen, it may not happen. You still got to throw that what if out there, and you have to talk with the person that you're dealing with, because shit, real life be happening. Accidents be happening, oopsies be happening, and you have to have a game plan. Especially when especially now, with politics and abortion bans and stuff like that. So, but yeah, both are equally responsible, but the man is for sure responsible, just as the woman is just as responsible for that child. Now, if it was me personally, if I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking, oh, I can't get pregnant, and I end up getting pregnant, me personally, I'm gonna have an abortion. I'm sorry, I'm broke. I ain't got no damn money. I don't have no money. But if the guy that I was dealing with, if he wanted me to keep the baby, because of course I would discuss it with him, if he wanted me to keep the baby or whatever, or maybe I missed the mark to get an abortion and I have to keep the child, then I would think that he is responsible for the child, but I don't think I would tell anybody that I can't get pregnant until I have like an actual medical diagnosis. But yeah, that's what I would do in that situation.
Okay, so yes, I agree with you when you were like, don't be naive. And maybe that the last guy could not get her pregnant, which I didn't really think about that. Yeah, and I feel like any of us would probably, as women, that we would probably assume that we could not get pregnant, especially if we've been with somebody for a while, we've been trying to get pregnant, or I don't know if we should, I don't want to say trying to get pregnant, because I feel like after a certain amount of times, if it doesn't work and you don't get pregnant, that you're going to go to the doctor and see exactly what's going on, especially if you are trying to get pregnant. So I feel like in that case, the woman would honestly already know if she can get pregnant or not. But yes, wrap it up, definitely. And if you are not wrapping it up, I feel like what you are playing with fire, like you said, that pull-out game got to be strong. And that reminds me, and I hate to say back in the day and make it sound like real young kids or whatever, but dudes love to say that their pull-out game was strong. I mean, I don't know, it's like they were a king if that pull-out game was strong. But yes, I feel like if you are the type where you don't like to wrap it up, or you, like I said, sex just feels 20 times better when you don't have that condom on, y'all already know the risk and know what could happen. Now, again, I feel like if she's telling you that she cannot get pregnant, y'all need to have some papers like that say that she cannot get pregnant, and what happens if she does. Although you have these papers, there's a small possibility that you could get pregnant. Like you said, y'all need to sit and y'all need to talk about those things, like what could happen. And I feel like in today's world, a lot of people do not like to discuss stuff. Like, they do not like to discuss what could happen, the what ifs. Like, everybody likes to bypass that and do what they do, and then everybody's looking stupid when a situation happens, and we got to stop doing it. Like, we as people, we need to stop doing it, because a child is a serious thing. A child is a very serious thing, and I agree with you 100% that a man can just do what he want to do. The baby is left with the mom 9 times out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. Like, the man is free to get up and go out, go spend time with his boys, go take trips, go do whatever, work any shift that he want to work, while the woman is raising the child. She can't just pick up her shit and go. Like, I know it's some women who probably do that, like leave the kid with the dad, and she gone and she doing what she want to do. But majority of the time, women are with their kids. Like, women are with the kids, and the dad is free to go do whatever he want to do. Like, the man is free to roam the streets all night. A little streetwalker. That's what he want to do. A woman cannot do that. So I agree with you 100%. Now, you took me out when you said you're broke. Like, oh, girl, because I be thinking about that sometimes. Like, if I was to get pregnant, what would I do? I really, really, really be thinking about that, because it's like, I always tell people, like, I'm 50-50 on the kids. Like, I don't have a certain answer, like, if I want kids or not. So it's like, if I don't want kids by a certain age, and if I have kids, it'll be a blessing. But if I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But my biggest, well, I ain't gonna say what my biggest fear is when it comes to that. But, yeah, I kind of agree with you on the abortion thing, but then part of me is like, damn, what if that was my blessing? Like, what if that was it for me? Like, so yeah, because I really want twins, so, and this is crazy to even think, and it just popped in my head, like, I feel like I would have to see, are those my twins? Like, I would have to keep them kids, like, to see if that's my blessing. Those are my twins. Those are my babies. And so I would just have to, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm like 50-50. But like you said, it's only right that you discuss it with the man. And if he says he wants to keep the child, then you keep it, and he's going to be responsible, do all he needs to do. But I just feel like if I'm having the baby with somebody that I'm not with, which is kind of irresponsible on my end as well, of course, but if I'm having the baby with somebody that I'm not with, and we just doing what we do, or we just like friends to benefits, I don't know if I really want to be tied to you or not. So I kind of, and this might be wrong of me, and some men might be like, oh no, you foul. I probably wouldn't tell him, to be completely honest with you. Like, I probably would, if I know for a fact that I don't want to keep this baby because I'm not trying to be nobody's baby mama, or I don't want to be tied to you or whatever, I might not tell you that I'm getting an abortion. I might just go get it. And that might sound really wrong, and if y'all feel away, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't know. I'm like, girl, I really don't know. That's like a conversation on a Wednesday over drinks and good food. Like, I really don't know, though. I really don't, because I'm kind of with you on I need a little bit more money, a lot more money, before I bring a baby into this world. And that's another thing, your finances, okay? That is another thing that people need to take into consideration. Like, you can't be bringing a baby into the world and you broke, or you struggling on your own. Like, the goal is to be financially stable and financially secure. Like, that's the goal. Then we can bring some babies into the world. So someone said she might have thought that to be true, that she couldn't get pregnant, but just because no one has put a baby in her doesn't mean that she can't get pregnant. So if I still let loose in her, then I'd probably step up to the plate if she decides to keep it. And that's pretty much what a lot of you guys have been saying. Well, yeah, a lot of y'all been saying that, that y'all would step up. And I feel like, I like that. I feel like you guys stepping up is a beautiful thing. Not many people would, well, I ain't gonna say not many people, let me stop. Some people wouldn't, but it's a good thing that you guys would step up to the plate, and I feel like that's why paperwork is very important. Like one of the voice notes said, getting that paperwork is very important, honey, because just a form of documentation, like, to back up what she's telling you. Again, don't just believe a woman because she tell you that she can't get pregnant, and don't just believe a man if he tell you that he can't have kids. I mean, that he can't get a woman pregnant. Like, no. Don't just take nobody's word for it. People lie every day.
I would take care of my child. That's what I would do. All of that other stuff is really just superficial at the end of the day. Once she says she's pregnant, my mind is on being the best father that I can be, to be honest. And if me and her are in love, then I'm going to propose to her. That's just the way I do things. And in truth, grown people should be more aware of who they lay with and who they're willing to have a child with. And I think that's just the bottom line. It's too many Nick Cannons out here, for real. And coming from a place where, like, I'm used to guys having babies at 12, girls too at 13. So to me, the biggest thing was to avoid early pregnancy of any woman or having children too early. Now I'm at an age where I could have children and I could sufficiently provide for them. I don't want them because of my career goals and my ambitions, as you know. But at the end of the day, regardless of what conversation we have, if she gets pregnant and she decides to keep the child, I'm going to be a father. And if you so pressed on that conversation, my nigga, get a fucking vasectomy and stop bitching. Take care of your kids.
Okay, so I'm here for you stepping up, being a dad, and I love that you said if you guys are in love that you would propose to her if you found out she was pregnant. And that overall that you would just be a father, that you would step up to the plate. You feel like these men need to step up to the plate and be a dad regardless of whatever. Definitely be aware of who you lay with. Even down to that pull-out game. Like, for one, I feel like you shouldn't really be doing that anyway. If you don't really see yourself like being with that person, or if you definitely can't see yourself having a kid with them and them being a part of your lives for 30, 40 years. Like, I don't think you should be doing pull-out game, and people really be trying to wait till the last minute to pull that shit out. And baby, that is nothing to play with. It might feel good and you might want to stay in there, but there's nothing to play with. And I really love when you say it's too many Nick Cannons, and I'm going to get on that in a second. But I do feel like when you said something about a vasectomy, I do feel like if you know for a fact that you don't want kids, well, I'm kind of 50-50 now that I think about it. But if you know for a fact that you don't want kids and you are like 10 toes down on that, like you don't want kids, I do feel like you need to get a vasectomy. Like, but then again, I feel like you may meet a woman, like the woman of your dreams, and she wants kids, and you might just, push your little thoughts to the side or whatever and give her that child. So, yeah, 50-50 on that. When you say it's too many Nick Cannons out here, I swear I cracked up, because I had to sit here and think about, like, how many kids does Nick Cannon have? Like 11, 12, 13? I don't know, but it's not the amount of kids that he has for me. It's them baby mamas. Like, when a man tells me that he has kids, I always ask about the baby mamas, because in all honesty, I really don't care how many kids you have. Well, I do. I lied. I care about the kids, but most importantly, I care about their ages. Because if your kids are like older, I really don't care. But if your kids are like 2, 3, running around in diapers, still crawling around on the floor, sucking on their pacifier, you out here potty training, car seats in the back, no, babes, I'm good. I'm good. Like, but yeah, Nick Cannon's baby mama, I forgot what her name was Bree. So she was on this show that I used to watch on Netflix. I think it was called Selling Sunset. And a girl told her, like, a girl told her that she just thinks it's unfair to the kids that he has to divide his time, knowing that he cannot divide his time evenly, which I agree. And people felt like, oh, why she all in her business? I agree with that too. Like, she shouldn't have been in the girl's business, like pressing real hard, But I agree that if you have so many kids, like we just gonna say that he has 11 kids, and you got about 8 baby mamas. I really don't know, but you have like 8 baby mamas, 11 kids, and it's like, how do you divide your time evenly? And what if your baby mamas do not get along? And some women cannot put their pride to the side for their kids. And let's just say that somebody still has feelings for you. They want you. And so they're like keeping you from your child or being petty and bitter. Like, how do you divide your time evenly? And let's just say your baby mamas can't be in the same room for too long. Like, how do you go about seeing your kids when it comes to that? And let's just say your baby mamas live in different states and they don't want to leave the child with you overnight because the child is used to staying with them. Like, how do you go about that? I feel like that's too much confusion, too much complication. That's a headache in itself. And and how, like, swinging your dick to that many people, nutting in that many people. And then I think he had a child recently, or whenever they filmed the show, like the last season, we found out that he had a girl pregnant. They had the baby now, I'm sure. But it's just like, sir, I just hope he doesn't have any more kids. You know his sperm work. And I just want to know what type of penis that man has. Women might just be coming around for the money. Because he ain't the best looking thing. So, it gotta be for the money. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I agree with you. It's too many Nick Cannons out here. Too many Nick Cannons with, Julie is from Everybody Hate Chris Pockets. Like, that's what it is. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for sending me your voice notes and really going into detail about what you would do in that situation. And y'all kind of have me like, I'm kind of leaning towards here, but then I'm kind of like, I'm still 50-50. So I would say the end result for me is I'm still 50-50. Like, I still don't know. Y'all gave some really, really, really good points, but I'm still 50-50. Like, I'm just thinking, like, if I was in that situation, but if I was in that situation, I would have some paperwork. Like, I'm just not going to say that I can't get pregnant. Like I said, if I was in a long-term relationship and we had been trying and I couldn't get pregnant, 9 times out of 10, we're going to go see somebody, like, to see what's going on, see why I'm not getting pregnant. So in that situation, you would have documentation saying that you can or cannot get pregnant, what's going on, all of that. So I'm still 50-50 on the whole thing, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Real and Raw with Ree. Make sure that you rate, share, comments, and do my polls and Q&As that can only be found on Spotify. If you are listening to this podcast on YouTube, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Click that link in the description box to support my podcast. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.